Live from San Antonio, Mike Taylor.
It's Asswhip Tuesday. Boy, is it ever. It is another one of these shows, man. And it is Asswhip Tuesday. God almighty. Today we have a sponsor for Asswhip Tuesday.
Well,
We'll have rolling sponsors. You know, I think we'll have a new one just about every week. We'll rotate them. Today, Asswhip Tuesday is brought to you by Alamo City Soccer Club, the largest youth soccer organization in this town. And I want to expound upon that here in a little while, our new partner. But it is indeed Asswhip Tuesday. I've got two. I know that we have a lot of Spotify listeners and still have like a radio perspective on this show, but we are now being, we're being viewed on YouTube. So I'm just going to show my belly. Look at this. How bloated I am today. Y'all see that? Look at that. I can make like a mouth.
Wait,
motherfucker.
time out.
What? Put that back.
Do you have
Zoom
your
back
pants
in.
unbuttoned?
Yeah, I'm bloated. Here, put that back on my belly. Mail, motherfucker. Mail, motherfucker.
What?
What's this?
Get the fuck out of here, man. It's my knife.
Mail, motherfucker.
I
am
have
bloated
not,
and uncomfortable.
I have not
I'm
seen
Asswhip.
someone intentionally with their pants unbuttoned like that in a long. Like I have to go back all the way to my grandpa after Thanksgiving dinner. Like
These jeans are tight today. They didn't shrink. I grew overnight. No, I had maybe I ate too late. I haven't been. I don't eat late
walk
usually.
me
We
through
did last
your
night.
culinary adventures.
We ate too
of the
early.
last
We went to an
24
early
hours.
movie, and wound up. I was hungry. It was like we ate at weird times, And when you get my age, Puma, you got to keep a schedule, And I had a big old giant ass slab of pizza
That'll do it.
at the Palladium yesterday, and it was the supreme one. It's got 16 different kind of meats and 35 different chopped veggies.
It's unnecessary.
Huge slice of pizza. It took me 10, 15 minutes to eat one slice. Had a couple of beers, of course, at the movie.
Well,
And then,
the yeast in both of those will cause you to be bloated.
sure. And then when we got home, because I had such an early dinner, we got hungry again last night. So about 9 o'clock, I scarfed down 2 helpings of chicken fried rice from some damn Chinese joint. No, paying the price today. So if I fart, I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm bloated. That's I've got 2 ass whips. That's one of them. Just being bloated, drinking too much beer, and eating pizza and fried rice. It was good. It was awesome.
regrets or worth it?
No, it's fine.
That's fine.
It's uncomfortable.
Yeah, you can just undo that button. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I just, maybe a long walk. Just drink I got coffee, but after this coffee, I might just kick it to water the rest of the day.
Probably a good idea.
Till about 6 when I drink beer again.
Sure. Yeah, until you have another pizza.
No, it's not so much what we ate. It's just the times I ate it on. You still doing your 8-hour window? Trying to look like Reese Witherspoon?
Well, look.
Trying to stay beautiful?
I might or might not need you to start absolutely verbally harassing me over my weight again.
You turn into a fat fucking slob like you were before.
We're back up.
Disgusting fat body coming in here and grossing us all out every day with your girth and grossness.
Thank you.
Oh, Wayne.
I feel like I'm going to lose 3 pounds in the next 72 hours.
You're a very good fat person.
Yeah, the change in routine here has... It makes it a lot harder to intermittently fast from noon to 8 when I'm now waking up at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, well,
versus...
Can you not wait till the show's over to eat? Because you weren't eating till noon before.
Oh, no, I do.
Okay.
But it's the, we wrap up at about 11.
Yeah.
I usually get home at about 11:30.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. I'm getting home right about the time that I was leaving the house before.
Yeah.
Because the real pressure in all of this is I can tell myself I don't need to eat right now.
Oh, you're going home and making bad decisions.
That's correct.
During the day. Oh, fuck it, I'll have Funyuns.
Along with some bad influence from an individual.
Oh, here we go. Let's blame others.
That calls herself my roommate.
Okay, let's share blame.
Because as soon as I get home, it's like, you want to go eat? You want to
Say
go
no.
get some?
Go eat and have a tea and watch her eat.
Yeah,
She's not going to get mad at you.
No, I mean that doesn't quite work either because then as soon as I'm there, I'm like, well, I could just get something small and
No, let's have 4 small helpings of goulash. Yeah, I'm just bloated and uncomfortable. Anyway, the best remedy is just to wait it out, drink water, and fart. So if I toot here in a little bit.
Toot. I haven't heard someone call it a toot in a while either.
Just be advised. What's whipping your ass today? I've got another one, but I wanted to bounce this off you first.
I think the obvious ass whip of the last 4 or 5 days is just summer league overreactions, whether they be positive or negative, and not even just directed specifically at Wemby. Obviously, that's the one we first look at, especially now that the news that he is done in summer league. The next time we'll see him in a uniform, it will actually be a Spurs regular season uniform
or
and not the
preseason.
It's
game.
still going to be it's still their regular jerseys though.
Sure,
they're not wearing the summer league pennies. Like
that was
they
a beating, by the way. The name down at the bottom of the number is an ass whip.
Well,
that was dumb.
It feels like they intentionally try to make summer league kind of like Euro League, like with the names in different places. The jerseys look more like a European jersey style than an NBA because they're clearly trying to make profit. They're trying to convince you to buy both of those. You need a Wemby Summer League jersey. Then you need a Wemby, jersey in every home and away color, a Fiesta jersey. Like they're just trying to get you to buy more shit.
I don't think it's an overreaction to suggest that Wembanyama is going to be awesome. If that's your opinion, that's a valid opinion.
Sure, no. That's the.
But to say he sucks, or so like and I wrote about this week for Sports Illustrated. The stupidity on Twitter Friday night was, he's a bust. And then he was fucking amazing on Sunday. And I was like, well, let's see him do it in the regular season. Okay. It's already been tempered 50 degrees since Friday night's dumbass opinion. Let's see him do that in the regular season.
And
then he'll do that, and they'll be like, well, let's see him win the playoffs.
Right. Yeah, because the goalpost is just going to keep moving. But that's the ass whip is no matter what you had seen, if you believed Wemby was going to be great on Friday afternoon before he played his first summer league game, and then you saw what you saw. A disappointing offensive night, but otherwise a solid debut. Sure, whatever.
Showed all that physical craziness we heard about.
And then you saw Sunday's game, and you said, oh, okay. Like now I do still believe, like, nothing you saw him do over the weekend should have affected your opinion whatsoever.
Right.
These games do not matter. There's nothing. Looking at Jabari Smith, who had a 38 and a 33-point game for the Rockets, what has your opinion changed any whatsoever? You saw him play an entire year in the league last year as a rookie. What does 2 games in summer league tell you that 82 regular season games are now mute and void?
I think he's going to be good,
insane.
But it's not just all based on this.
That's my whole point. Yeah. That's my whole point. Is the overreactions of whatever you thought about a player on Friday afternoon, you should absolutely still think the exact same thing about him because these summer league games do not matter in the long-term projections of what you expect a player to look like.
My other ass whip today is J.J. Watt says under the right circumstances, he would come out of retirement and play this year.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me.
No, he whips my ass. You know, it's funny. It's the reaction to him all the years. You know, as a Cowboys fan in San Antonio during his heyday, the prime of his career, being told that he was, top 2 or 3 all time at his position that's ever lived or whatever. You know, all of the heroic articles that got me, the narratives that were written about him. You know, I get mad when you try to play this. When I get upset, not just you particularly, but people will try to well, your narrative, and you're trying to create something that's not there. We did do that. Not we, media in this state. And the overreaction of J.J. Watt early in his career because he was a white dude. All those same white guys. And I think that's where I got this. The old bit of every white guy that gets drafted that's a good player, he's cerebral. He got a high motor.
He's a coach on the field.
Yeah, you have to take the keys away from him because he'll sleep in the locker room all night.
He's first one at the facility, last one to leave.
Absolutely. He's a totally coach on the field. I mean,
he's a culture changer.
Yeah, the white guy cliches that got slathered all over J.J. Watt whooped my ass. And then the legendary Paul Bunyan-esque attitude that many in this state that cover ball, and that's the other thing. It wasn't even just people that cover ball. Like Texas Monthly put J.J. Watt on its cover 6-7 years ago and basically crowned him. He's the best Texan we've had since Ann Richards. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Get the fuck out of here.
And it's not even,
Get my
and it made me hate J.J. Watt. And he didn't do nothing except have a great career that was marred by injury.
Yeah, it created the backlash that you were describing.
If I saw him, I'd be like, dude, I hate you. Because you got so fucking slathered in your career.
When's the
It's
last
not
time
personal.
you literally told somebody you hate them?
This morning.
Okay, never mind.
Circle
Move
K.
on. Yeah,
No,
okay.
I'm kidding. That's a good question. I don't know.
I hear people say that a lot, and I don't think people actually are following through with a lot of the hate that they espouse verbally.
Oh, no one follows through on anything.
That's how exactly.
Because we're all a bunch of Twitter warriors.
But
We
it's
could jump
fun
on
to-
Twitter Friday night and call the kid a bust and his kid sucks and the Spurs are stupid. That's what you get to do now. You get to fire off your fucked up opinion and you be a big giant pussy and hide behind a keyboard and never actually talk to human beings. That's what we do now. As I sit here with my pants unbuttoned. That's your ass.
That voice feels like the voice of a man with
But
his
it is
pants
what a lot of
unbuttoned.
people do now. We got a bunch of people that want to fire off an opinion. Every slapdick in the country has an outlet because of social media.
Hey, Twitter world.
And I'm not anti-social media, but what I try not to do is overreact to the stupidity on social media, but sometimes it gets the better of me. And it got the better of me all those years with J.J. Watt, and it got the better of me on Friday night with the overreaction of Wemby's bad shooting night. What's whipping your ass, LG? You got anything, man?
Yeah.
What is it?
Restaurants that are still insisting on giving you QR codes instead of physical menus.
Oh, dude, you've lost that
Yeah,
battle.
that's
That's
Come
like
on
that's
now.
like
That
bitching about
game's
Mexicans
over.
being in Texas. I mean, they're here. We're here.
I
They're
understand during
here.
the pandemic, an option is fine. Have it as an option, but don't immediately just assume that we don't want regular menus,
I agree with him. I want give me something in my hand.
Give me a choice.
Why,
I agree with you.
Why do you want them to go through the process of wasting paper when it can be done digitally?
They're not wasting paper. They pass out the same menus all day.
But that's what I'm saying. I mean, you're printing it on paper, even if you're laminating it and keeping it for 5 years. Why not just use a digital route to prevent all of that waste?
It's an ass whip. It's an ass whip. I have to, and this falls in line with not just the QR codes, but they make it so difficult on the customers now at so many places to eat, where you're in charge of so much now. Where a lot of places don't even have wait staffs because they're cheap.
Where they have robots?
No, they make you go get in line and order up there, then go sit down, and they'll bring it to you later.
That's counter
And
service.
some of these
yeah.
places have terrible websites and terrible Wi-Fi,
now
so you
that
can barely
is-
even look at the menu.
That's
It's pretty
an
awful.
issue.
And it might
That's an
change
issue.
or something, No, like, oh, let me scan the deal, find the menu. Okay, cool, let me scroll. Oh, now let me go to the appetizers. Oh, there's a whole nother click for the beer. Give me something. Give me a little flip
But
card.
okay, even that.
I want
like,
a flip card.
Why
God dang
Why
it.
are you looking at a menu for beer? Just order a beer, and if they say we don't have it, order another
Because
one.
they
It's
have
beer.
35 beers.
But what kind of? I mean, unless you're ordering like some New Zealand coffee stout, then
Sure, I like to have
everyone's
options.
got basic.
But I can drink
10,
basic
12
beer
amount
at
of beers.
home. If I go to your restaurant, that's when I usually drink an exotic beer. I can
Okay.
drink beer I can get at HEB at home. But if I go to a nice restaurant, if you've got something that the chef recommended, or you brought in something from some distillery, up in the hill country, that goes for wine and whiskey too, by the way.
I've
I
also
need
noticed
choice.
that there's a little bit of ageism involved with the QR codes because I'm sitting there and I walk in with my buddies and stuff, and waitress is like, yeah, there's the QR code on the table, scan for the menu. And then a group of blue hairs walks in and they all get physical menus. I mean, what the
yeah.
hell?
Oh, they just assume that the young Asian guy doesn't need the physical menu.
Yeah, they assume
he's smart.
he's got a smartphone. Yeah. What if I have a flip phone,
Okay, here's the better
You don't
question
have a flip
though.
phone though, and you are smart
Do like a restaurant you go
and
to
good at math.
2 or 3 times a month?
What?
Like a restaurant that you go to 2 or 3 times a month. Are
Yeah.
you looking at the menu every time you go in there still? You know what the menu is.
That's different though. But
Right,
like
so that's-
places you've never been before,
I
or
don't go
just-
to the same restaurant 2-3 times a month.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Man, you don't have favorites that you frequent? Like we go to Talk Data Point a couple, like 2-3 times a month. I don't look at the menu at all. I know exactly what I want.
I don't go anywhere more than a couple of times a month.
Man,
Still
that's
the
crazy.
principle. I want to read something. I want a physical thing in my hand. I like it.
Yeah.
And I can flip through it easier.
I for one, like usually I would be with you, but knowing our full disclosure, our buddy, our chef Ernie at Charity Bar is one of these restaurants that LG would write a bad Yelp review about because they don't give him a paper menu. They use the QR code.
It's not even an option there.
If you're gonna do it like put the iPad at the table so you can check out too, and it has the menu on it like at Chili's. They got the little screen at the table.
I hate
That's
that.
way better than the QR code.
I cannot stand that
Because you can check out whenever you're ready. You don't have to wait for a freaking waiter too.
I have made decisions not to eat when I realized, no, this is an ass whip. I'm not doing it. At the airport in Houston.
Well,
I was starving after a flight from the hellscape, and I was going to go to Burger King and get me a quick little breakfast waiting on a layover to get to San Antonio out of Houston. Walked up to the Burger King in the Houston International, George W. Bush, or whatever the hell it's called, airport. And the Burger King, you had to order on a screen, touch screen. They had this big, giant kiosk-looking thing. And, of course, it's a Burger King, so they have 35 pages to their menu. So people are like, it's like a giant iPhone. And you're waiting, and you have to do it. And then it's like, well, do you want? You have to. Do you want ketchup? You have to click no.
yeah, I hate that.
Fuck that! I didn't eat. I just starved and I plane went home.
That's very different than a QR
Restaurants
code
are making
menu,
it an ass
though.
whip for people to go in there and eat.
That's very, very different than just having your menu on a website.
But it's part of the ass whip. It's all part of it.
Yeah, that one feels like they're doing that to eliminate overhead employee costs.
Sure, they are.
1,000%.
But they're making it an inconvenience
people
to
aren't
me.
doing that. They're doing that to save paper.
The other day, Nina and I were going to go eat. And unlike you, I don't have any problem throwing motherfuckers under the bus in this town. Bill was always hesitant. Well, a certain restaurant in a certain northwest. I don't want to give the latitude and longitude. So we were on 281 doing something, running errands.
Don't want to destroy someone's livelihood.
Fuck 'em. I got hungry, and we were going to go to Cava. You know what, y'all want? Cava's kind of like modern Chipotle.
Yeah.
And there's the Cava right here on 281 by the old Target there. We might have been coming back from the Ringer, actually, now that I think about it. I don't know what we were doing over there, but there's a Cava right off of 281 by that old school Target. And we walk into the Cava, and it's like, there's no one behind the counter. And we're like, we look around. This girl walks back from the back and goes, oh, this is, I don't even know what you call it.
Self-serve, basically?
You have to order in advance and go pick it up. There's nobody behind the counter. No, you pay on your phone in advance, drive to the Cava, walk in, and your food will be waiting on you. Fuck that shit. We walked right out of there, and we went to Starbucks, and I had a fucking Gouda sandwich. I'd rather have that. And Cava's good. And not all Cavas are that way, but there's one over in the Med Center that we go to that's great. But the one over here on 281... they don't have anyone that helps you. Well, fuck off. I'm not going to eat there. There's not. Period.
There's a pizza place in your neck of the woods at longitude 35, latitude. No, it's out there in the medical district. And the first time we were going to go, they have a little bar. We were going to go have a drink and place a to-go order. So we sit down at the bar, order our drinks, and then tell the bartender, like, hey, we want to place a to-go order. And the bartender's like, oh, you do that over there. And we're like, you can't just take our order? Like, well, what do you mean you do that over there?
They have stations.
So they had stations. So we went over to the station, and I'm starting to talk to the chick, and I'm like, hey, I just want a place to go order. I want a large. And she's like, oh, no. You do it on your phone, and then you come just pick it up from here. It's the same exact thing you're describing.
Not doing
so
that.
We sat at the bar, placed our to-go order on the phone, paid for it, and then got a little text message, and then it was in a little hot box oven waiting for us to just grab and go like a whatchamacallit, Little Caesars.
I get that young kids today are scared to death of human interaction.
Man, not the person at the coffee shop this morning.
Good.
She was talking. No,
Good.
Not good.
Highlight them.
What are your plans this afternoon? What are your plans this weekend?
Oh,
you have
she's
any big
hocked up
plans
on
coming up this
caffeine.
month? And I'm just like, what do you know? Like, I can only tell you no.
I would rather that than the...
No, give me that every time.
Oh, God. There's a person in front of me. It's hard to give my opinion. It's hard. People like that. I don't want that either.
No, I'll take that every
No,
time because
fuck all that.
that means that's just less interaction altogether. I have.
You know
to
what I've
have.
done? I've done this a couple of times just to be a dick.
Okay, I can already guess.
Like overtalk them.
Yeah, exactly. Make them uncomfortable. By
What's
the
your
amount.
name?
Yeah.
How long you worked here? You know, I think. Oh wow. What's your recommendation? When you eat here, what's your favorite meal? I make them talk.
Okay. Do you ever ask that? Does it piss you off or at least rub you the wrong way when you're at a restaurant and you ask a server, like say you've never been there before, you're split between 2 or 3 dishes, and you ask, so what's your favorite dish on the meal? And they go, oh, I don't eat this shit. I don't know. I don't eat here. And you're just like, what?
Okay, I've never had that. But I do
I've never had them
appreciate.
cuss, but I've had them say, oh, I don't know. I don't eat.
I
don't
appreciate
eat here.
when you ask a waiter, what do you think about this? And they say, it's not my favorite.
Yeah.
I'd rather have that. I do appreciate that honesty.
That's how I ended
I'm
up
not going to
with-
get mad at the restaurant.
That's how I ended up getting a different brat than the Wemby that you got when we were at Dogfather. I asked the dude, I was like, hey, I'm really thinking about trying the Wemby, but I want to add, like, what's your favorite on the menu? And he told me, go with the traditional brat. Everything we put on that is homemade, home pickled, all from scratch. And the Wemby is a little different. So I followed the advice of the guy at the register and ended up changing my order. Like, I appreciate that influence.
That's one of my philosophies at a place too. If I've never been there before, get the most basic thing that they have. Get the thing get the food that made them want to get into the business. Get the basic thing, and if that's good, then you'll come back next time and work my way down. All right, show brought to you in part by Hank the Realtor from Vortex Realty. It is Hank the Realtor. This man's in business for Thunderdome over at Vortex Realty. It is Hank Perez at 300-1121. If you need a real estate agent for anything, Hank's your guy. Now, maybe you're looking to buy. Maybe you're looking to sell. We got a massive shortage of homes to buy right now. Every day in the paper, every day out of Austin, we're hearing new news with regards to housing costs, real estate, people coming into the state and driving up property, and it's a hell of a time in property taxes, home sales, this kind of thing in this state right now, and you need a smart guy in your pocket when you decided to do something like this, and that's our guy Hank. All right. Major shortage of homes right now to buy. So if you've been thinking about selling, take advantage of the market, call Hank. Vortex Realty gets you a free market analysis. Find out what your property's worth. Maybe you got somebody in your family that's thinking about selling. Recommend they call Hank. My man Hank Perez lives, works, plays in Bernie, but he serves not just that area, the whole swath of that northern part up there, all the way to New Braunfels and then way down, of course, into San Antonio, Texas. If you're thinking about just go price your stuff, see what you might be able to get for something. There ain't no obligation. Call or text Hank your address for free comps on your property at 300-1121. It is 300-1121. If you need a real estate agent, call Hank.
Come on now, Hank.
All right.
God.
You may have noticed that Asswhip Tuesday today is being brought to you by Alamo City Soccer Club. Have you met my buddy Barry?
I don't think so.
Okay, and you need to at some point. I got a buddy who his daughter played in this league for years, and Barry's affiliated with them now. But Barry got me in contact with some other folks that run this league, and I'd never heard of. I don't pay attention to youth sports that much in this town.
Well, I mean,
But-
why would you?
Well, it's time to now, though. I'm certainly going to. And if you'd ask, you don't. I'm going to ask you right now, how big do you think youth soccer is right now in this town?
I mean, it's been the most played youth sport since 1972 here in America. So, I mean, I would assume in terms of what measurement, like how many kids total are playing in it?
Sure, let's go with that.
30,000?
In this town?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. How many kids are in this town?
I don't know. That's why I was trying to do the math in my head.
Well, okay. How many kids do you think play for San Antonio City Soccer Club?
Educate me.
1,500.
Okay.
Alone in
In
just
just
their
their
league.
league,
Yeah.
yeah.
And they serve
Good
age
Lord.
four to early college age too. It is a massive soccer league that has expanded with brand new pitches, brand new fields up off of Speck Road on the north side. And went and had lunch with them, me and LG. We actually had beer with them last week. And they decided to become the newest member of the Thunderdome Partnership Familia. It is Alamo City Soccer Club, a huge, huge league. But they've expanded because they're so good, so well received. reputation is so good in this area, and not just this town, I should say this area, because a lot of kids come in from Lord knows where to play in this for this club. Keep calling it a league. That's the American in me. It's a club.
It's a club.
And my buddy Barry's daughter came up through that club and cannot talk good enough about it. And I'm super stoked to be involved with them. So I've got some numbers on this league. So they do all kinds of teams. Obviously, they got 1,500 kids. They start as young as 4 years old, go all the way up through college age. They have a huge social media following. There's a whole swath of, and this is potential Thunderdomers too here.
Sure.
These young kids over there find out that we're doing stuff with them.
It's a gold mine for future listeners.
You bet your booty. Their average week reach on Facebook alone is almost 10,000 people on their Facebook page. They got 4,000 Instagram reach, and they got, thousands of Twitter followers. It's a huge league. I had a committee meeting for the barbecue, matter of fact, Saturday, and my boy Ed Bermay was like, oh, yeah, my cousin, she played in that league all her life. Love that place. I mentioned it, and they're like, oh, yeah, who knew? Because I haven't paid a lot of attention to youth athletics in this town. Soccer, obviously, is monstrous and huge, and the official soccer club of Thunderdome right now, officially, is the San Antonio City Soccer Club, and they have built a whole bunch of new fields up on Speck Road, up on the north side. And so that's kind of part of the reason why I wanted to get them on. At some point, we should have the president on. Or they have like former pros that played, that are coaches now and stuff. It's a huge league.
Yeah, we need to mine that.
When we were having beer the other day with the GM of the club, he was monitoring his phone because they had a couple of girls' teams playing in North Carolina. It's huge.
Damn.
Wasn't like when I was in the 80s, hey, Mijo, you got a game at 7, get out of bed. Okay. You need to walk to the ballpark, too. Hey, Mom, have you found my glove? No, borrow one.
Mike Taylor, Jr., second base.
We've come a long way in youth athletics from when Mike Taylor was in the Riverside Little League in Fort Worth, Texas. The San Antonio City Soccer Club is legit, and I'm going to make your ass go watch some games with me this year. They start playing, I think, at the end of August.
Oh, okay.
We'll go when it gets cooler.
Okay, I was about to say, and I thought you were about to say they start playing at like 6 a.m. or something. Like,
well, I know better than to have you go to the early games.
Yeah.
We'll find, and they got beautiful, beautiful fields. I think they've got several fields up there, and so here's what I want to help San Antonio City Soccer Club with. Getting sponsors for their fields, because they have paid a lot of money to make these fields awesome. And it'd be cool if they could get some sponsorships put on the fields, right? I got a list of all these fields too. So I need you to become a giant youth soccer fan here. And I don't think that's a lot to ask of you since you watch soccer damn near every day. Did we beat Canada?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. No, never a doubt whatsoever.
Okay.
Especially when it went to penalty kicks.
There is all sorts of ways to help this league. Field naming rights. Get your name on an entrance sign. You get a field banner when you decide to become a sponsor of one of their fields. Tons of social media endorsement, including from me. All right? You got all kinds of material to market your own company. So basically the message is, if you're interested in this soccer club, maybe your kid played there, maybe you played there, maybe you know somebody that does, you just want to give back and get in, because you know how we do now. Ever since we started doing the barbecue, this radio show, and I'm proud of this, knock on wood, we've had a real good success record with helping in this community. So I want to help get these guys some sponsors on these fields up there, and there's the information if you're watching this thing. And if you want some information on how to sponsor the official soccer club of Thunderdome, reach out to me. Email me, MikeTaylorShow@gmail.com, or DM me either on Instagram or Twitter, or shoot me a message on Facebook. So there it is. Welcome to the newest member of the Thunderdome Partnership Group, Alamo City Soccer Club.
Got multiple people in the chat saying either their kids or somebody they know had kids playing in the league.
That's
so
cool.
Just right there. I mean, there's 3 more people that have
cool. All right. So I'm going to start
tangential connections.
And if you're already a partner with this show, I will be calling you soon because I want some help with these guys. It would be cool if we had like a Thunderdome sponsored one of the fields. Like if we all pooled funds, like we get 500 Thunderdomers to give, I don't know, $20 or something. We could do it. Thunderdome Field.
See,
That'd be so cool.
I was thinking we could have it like Dick Marks Field or something, something tied into Who's someone
These
else?
are youth soccer players.
Oh, Richard Marks. Okay, whatever.
Well,
That's his name.
no bits. Something.
Who's someone else you feel? JJ Watt field.
Let's think tank.
Yeah, let's think tank.
Whatever raises the money, I'm fine with that. But I want to help these guys because these people that run this soccer club, well, they got involved in this league, and boy, look how it's taken off, and they need help. So there it is. It seemed indubitable that we would partner up at some point on this show with youth sports of some sort. You know, it's always been my wish, and this is why this means a lot to me, and I want this to work out. I want this to do well, not just because I'm buddies with Barry. But, you know, I played in a shithole Little League Baseball league. Sorry, Riverside, but it was a shithole. It was crazy because we had nothing. I mean, it was I was in the body over I played in the 80s, and it was awful. And it wasn't until I was able to move across town in 7th grade that I saw what a decent ballpark looked like.
White people.
And it wasn't until I moved across town when I was 13 that I realized, oh, this is what a good glove looks like. This is what it looks like when parents come to the game and aren't in jail or couldn't come to the game because the ankle monitor doesn't go that far.
They're stopped.
This is neat.
They're out in the parking lot with binoculars to try to see you're at bat.
Oh, wow. They gave us a meal when the game was over. It's pretty cool. So I saw what youth leagues can do when they are helped by the community, you know, because it's not easy. And so it was always one of my wishes growing up. I've always said that if I ever had a lot of money, which I don't, but if I had a lot of money or if I had an outlet, I don't have any money, but I have an outlet, that I would give back to youth sports. And it doesn't have to be a hood or body. I just want to help kids. I want to help these young kids. Y'all know how I feel about these kids. All parts of our city too. And so I'm happy that we're partnering up now with SA City Soccer Club. I'm excited. I'm excited about that very much. So y'all help me out. We got an official soccer club, and I'm stoked for it. You'll see me start wearing T-shirts and stuff in here.
Oh, you're even going to expand your T-shirt.
Which means I got to get rid of one. Yeah.
What's going to go?
Well, it's going to be tough, but we'll make that decision. All right, what else today? Thought we'd jump into some Cowboys here. Gosh, training camps around the corner.
It's insane how close it is now.
Also, an excuse to promote my Sports Illustrated column from Monday.
What are we, 3 weeks out? 3.5 weeks?
I think they fly to Point Magoo, the Air Force Base, the Naval Base, whatever the base is, on the 25th or 4th. They have a little get-together, check-in, like the first practice is July 27th.
And what's today's date? Today's 7/11,
Today's
right?
the 11th. It's my dad's birthday.
Yeah. Oh, happy birthday, Big Mike.
Big Mike turned 66 today. It's July 11th. And I think the first Cowboys practice is like July 27th.
And that's like 2.5 weeks out. That's even closer than I realized.
There's a preseason game like August the 7th or something stupid like that. It's Cowboy season, baby. It's here.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!
At your ass. And so I decided to be that guy because I've seen a lot come out. You know, it's been every time we talk Cowboys in the last 6, 7, 8 weeks, what have we usually talked about? What Micah Parsons wrote on Twitter today. What Micah Parsons did today on YouTube. Micah Parsons has turned into a social media star. And it's just because he's a jovial, he's an outgoing dude. He's a guy that, he's not one of these, most guys stay low. He is not one of those. It's funny, they're like, oh, thank you, Mel. There's this perception that every player today is all over social media and they're out partying all day. I mean, do you know what Zach Martin has done since the San Francisco playoff game? You have any idea?
No.
Did you forget he was alive?
Yeah, I mean, no, because
I mention him? The last time you thought about Zach Martin?
Yeah. I mean, probably not even the playoff game because he's Zach Martin.
It's the last time you thought about.
He doesn't get penalties or give up sacks.
So
I
last
don't
time
think
you thought about
J-Ron
Curse.
Yeah, that's been since the injury.
The point is that most of these guys lay low and they're mature and they're grown up about it. I'm not saying that Micah Parsons is immature, but Micah's all over social media all day long, every day. Does that make me worry about his maturity? Not really.
I feel like it would have 5 years ago.
I'm leading
it would
somewhere.
have.
Really? Yeah, I think so.
Well, now, I mean, a kid, Like Micah's 23,
Yeah, and as much as he tweets,
24.
it's not a bunch of. He's not like on there. He's not tweeting him. He's not tweeting himself holding a gun in a strip club in Denver. You know, he's not doing stupid shit.
No, he's attacking Madden over player ratings or calling out some other guy saying
he goes back and forth
you're gonna
talking
get
shit
cut
with
in a year.
players. Yeah. And that video that he made with that God, can't think of his name. Was it
Big Wit?
Big Wit.
Yeah.
And he came down and trained with him. That was cool. And so where I'm going with this is I've now started to see scuttled that the Cowboys, part of, and they got a lot of free agents this year. They got guys that are coming up next year. Trayvon Diggs is coming up. Other key players will be coming up. And at some point, you know who's going to come up. Micah Parsons.
Boss man fat. Oh, Micah
Well,
Parsons.
not him. By the way, I hear good things about Boss Man Fat.
Sure.
I mean, he's finally figuring some shit out.
He was the best special teams contributor they had last year.
I mean, from a secondary standpoint, I think he may have a chance to actually be a rotational guy this year.
Yeah,
during games, not just on gunning for punts.
It's going to be a struggle to get in that rotation with what they've done to upgrade the secondary.
No question, but I think he's made some strides, and that's good because inevitably people get hurt in the NFL, and you need depth if you
especially
can
with Jordan Lewis coming back healthy.
Sure,
I mean he'll be behind.
So I wrote about Micah, but I was thinking about him just because I do like Micah Parsons. I don't want that to be misconstrued after what I wrote the other day. If anybody read it, I appreciate that. I do a Monday Cowboys column on Sports Illustrated, which even saying that still is goofy to say, but that's what I do. So I guess where I'm going is as we get closer to Micah Parsons wanting a new contract extension, this is the point where I jump into the conversation and say, hey, let's not lose our minds here because of how good he's been these first 2 years and not ruin the franchise on one guy's salary. I'm not saying I don't want to pay him or extend him, but I'm calling for resolve here and to stay level-headed with this because he's going to want more money than any non-quarterback's ever been played.
Absolutely.
Ever been paid.
And if continuing at this trajectory for one more full season is absolutely deserving of that.
Well,
they're going to have this is
they don't have that's the point. They don't have to. You don't have to do anything.
Sure. I mean, you can let a transcendent talent walk for absolutely nothing. You can trade them when you tag them for a year and trade. Like they can
tag him twice.
Sure.
If he gets mad, too bad.
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
He's going to hold out.
That's fine. Let him. You cannot lose your mind because a real popular, very good player has decided he wants more money than anyone's ever gotten.
But when he's that integral to winning football games,
is he?
Yes, absolutely.
Let's find out.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
I think they won awesome. 3 games with Cooper Rush as a quarterback last year because of the defense, and Micah Parsons is the leader of that defense.
Early in the season, and then what did we get from Micah in December? He wore down because he's small.
Well, or because they literally played him almost twice as much as any edge rusher in the entire league.
And
that's on the coaching staff.
Who bitched about that all season? This show did on Cowboys Overreaction. I don't think we had 1 week where I didn't say, that dude played 43 snaps today. I don't know if that's the right thing to do. So it's a complicated, convoluted discussion. But I'm just calling for calm here, and I don't want the Cowboys to fuck up because they panicked because he decided to go to Cabo like Zeke Elliott did.
But I know it's a different sport. But looking at would you be having the same conversation about Wemby in 4 years? Look, you don't have to sign him.
Yes, you do. That's different.
Why?
Because there's only 5 guys on the field at one point.
Sure.
In the NFL, there's 48 guys that play every week.
So,
and you get
how many guys would you find? What did you have to find to replace what Micah can do in terms of winning football games, contributing?
But you don't have to find one guy to replace him.
That's my whole point. You would be trying to find 3 to piece together one version of what Micah gave you in terms of production. I think this is the folly of a lot of teams when you get lucky with a guy that you drafted, you fell into your lap. You didn't even want him. You wanted a cornerback. You wanted either Horn or Surtain the second. You traded back. You got Micah Parsons. You ended up getting the absolute, unquestionable best player in that draft class. Mm-hmm. There shouldn't be a whole lot of consideration about how you're going to navigate your future with him outside of signing him to a long-term extension. You just don't let guys that are that good go for nothing or go for one-year deals
Sure you
year
can.
to year. See, but
It's football.
and that's my whole point. If you're right now with Dak at his age, with the way this team is built, if you're dicking around with Micah Parsons about contract negotiations to the point where he's going to hold out for 6 games, that could be the difference between playoff seeding. That could be the difference between making it or not making it.
I don't
Like,
think
you
I
gotta
don't think
go
he has
for
that
it.
much impact.
Man,
I think he's awesome at what he does. I don't think he's not winning playoff games by himself.
no,
Until you get the right quarterback.
But he's winning.
It don't matter what else you got.
he's winning regular season games by holding opponents as the leader of that defense to 17 points
in the
a
first
game.
2 years. And he's worn out the first 2 years in the youngest part of his career. I'm just saying, let him do this for 2 more years before we start worrying about giving him $180 million guaranteed money.
Oh, that'll be
fucking up my salary.
That'll be done at the end of this year.
And they probably will because they're Dallas.
Any team would do
that's
that with
bull.
Micah.
The Patriots would not do that.
Well,
The 49ers would not do that.
Show me the success the
Eagles would
Patriots have
not do
had
that.
since they lost the greatest quarterback of all time. The Niners,
It doesn't matter. You don't change your entire philosophy
The
because Tom
Niners,
left.
the Niners are a team that just traded for a running back on the third biggest contract in the league. They are not. They will take the chances because they understand their window is right now. They're
their
going to
quarterback
overpay
position's
for a
cheap.
running back. Right.
That's part of it. If they had Dak Prescott at quarterback, I don't think they'd trade for Christian McCaffrey.
They also just signed Owen Hargrave from the Eagles. It gave him massive, massive money.
And it probably has a great out, probably after 1 or 2 years. Here's the other thing. Micah's not, let's not act like Micah Parsons is the greatest edge rusher, not even in today's game. He's not. There's 3 or 4 guys that are probably better than he is.
But there's not a single edge rusher that can also cover the secondary or go sideline to sideline like he can. That's the difference with Micah. If you line Micah up at linebacker, he's a top 3 linebacker in the league. If you line him up at edge rusher, he's a top 3 edge rusher in the league. There's no one else in the league that can claim that.
I'm not guaranteeing 5 years to anybody except a quarterback. And again, he's not
You
now.
want 5 years to CD Lamb?
He's not a CD Lamb. God,
He's about to come up for extension. That's going to be a 5-year
some
deal.
outs. Yeah. That's the league's set up to be able to tell you, we're done after 2 years. Go ahead and bail.
But that's just the assumption with any
But
long-term
Mike is going to
contract.
turn down anything short of he gets gold and he gets everything. And if he starts pulling all kind of, he's not going to. I don't think at this point Micah Parsons is good. There's not going to be any give or take with him.
No,
There's
it's going to
no
be it's going to be like the
negotiation.
Rams negotiating with Aaron Donald.
But he ain't even close to Aaron Donald. He is not Aaron Donald.
Really?
Dude, Aaron Donald might be the greatest of all time at
but
his
you're
position.
to say he's
This
not
kid's been in the
even
league 2 years.
anywhere close. Like this
Not
is,
yet. No, Aaron Donald's been in the league 10 years.
and that's my whole point. We're talking about Micah in year 3, or on still on his rookie deal. Like you don't.
I think you overrate Micah Parsons, which is it's hard. It's not, and it's hard to do because he's great.
It's not that
He's
I
been great.
overrate him. It's that the value that he provides an NFL team in terms of financial compensation is unlike any defensive player in the league because of his versatility, because of what he can do.
Again, you said it earlier. He's worn out every December. For the
And that's
first
on the coaching
So what's he
staff.
going to be in after year 5? Retired at
now,
this rate?
Well, now he's bulked up, as he told us, because
Okay,
he's
well,
making
and we'll
the.
see how it impacts his frame.
Yeah, I mean that worries me more than anything else.
All right, show also brought to you by Hardwick Mortgage. Hardwick Mortgage. If you need a mortgage man, I got it for you. The official mortgage guy of our show is Brad Hardwick over at Hardwick Mortgage. Hit him up at 500-3835. Website's easy to remember. It's hardwickmortgage.com. It's my dude right here. I love this dude. Had lunch with him not long ago. And within a couple of days, he became another partner of our show. This is a guy you need to call if you are in the mortgage business. All right. Here's the other cool part. So it turns out like Brad and Hank, the realtor, come on now, Hank. This is what's so beautiful. Isn't it cool when Thunderdomers get together? Like, I can't tell you how much it warms my heart.
To see the streams cross.
When I'll have a guy that runs one business. Hey, what's Rosty's number again? Oh, well, it's this. Stuff like that. What was that taco place that representing y'all now? Oh, it's that. I love when the streams cross, as you say. So here's the deal. If you need a real estate agent and you've called Hank, but now all of a sudden, okay, we're going to go ahead and we're going to look into doing something with our house. Now we need a mortgage guy. call Brad. Brad will work with Hank and vice versa. If you decide, okay, let's reach out and talk about mortgage and what that would look like. Well, now we need a real estate guy, so we're going to call Hank. Hardwick Mortgage and Vortex Realty, Hank, Perez, they are going to work together hand in hand. Isn't that beautiful? To help each other, to help Thunderdome. Pretty sweet. It is Hardwick Mortgage. This information is presented for informational purposes. This is not a commitment to lend or extend credit. Information and or dates are subject to change without notice. All loans are subject to credit approval. Other restrictions may apply as a result of refinancing. Your total finance charges may be higher over the life of the loan. Visit hardwickmortgage.com for more information. Hardwick Financial Services, Inc., NMLS ID 1972012. It is hardwickmortgage.com. All right, the NFL's hard. It's hard because you have so many players. You have to manage so many guys. It can be ridiculous at times with the way the league manages itself. It has this fucking authoritarian salary cap that makes me come on here and question whether or not they should re-sign Micah Parsons.
But also one that apparently doesn't make a whole lot of sense when you can just kick the can down the road and backload contracts to the point where you can manipulate the shit out of the cap. Exactly.
Right. It's crazy.
It's hard to understand what team actually has cap room or not.
Right. And it leads to me always being worried and weary and cautious about re-signing anybody. And that goes for Trayvon Diggs. It goes for anybody else on that roster. You don't screw your salary cap unless you're screwing it on a quarterback and no one else. Not even Micah Parsons, who's going to want more money than Davy Crockett. He's awesome. He's a minister of death out there every week. He's praying for war every Saturday night, ready to kill people.
He's a lion, and
I love it.
Hunting the Serengeti.
He's a lion, and he plays one of the three impact positions.
Yep.
How do you win in this league? You need a passer, you need a pass protector, and a pass rusher.
That's it.
And he's one of the elites, and I get that. I'm not on here. I don't want to come off as, fucking Taylor's an idiot. He don't want to bring Micah Parsons back. That's not true. I just don't want to. If I have to deplete 5 other positions because I re-signed Micah, then what's the point? Especially with Dak getting old, and I got to replace him at some point.
It depends what positions you're depleting. If that means you're losing Donovan Wilson, Terrence Steele, and one more kind of mid-tier contract like that, then get rid of those guys to keep Micah. Absolutely.
Get rid of those guys?
Yes.
Oh my God, that's insane.
I would absolutely, right now, if you told me I had to get rid of Wilson and Steele or get rid of Micah, that's an easy decision.
It's not that.
But that's what I'm saying.
It will deplete everything.
But those are the two guys that are going to be, like, Steele's going to be looking to reset the market as a right tackle free agent next year. Donovan Wilson got his money now, but if you're going to have to look for cap casualties moving forward to re-sign Micah, I think those are the kinds of guys that you're saying you'd be comfortable giving up to keep Micah. Throw Mike Gallup in there and his big money.
I wouldn't have given Mike Gallup.
Completely agree.
That's different. That was dumb.
And that's where I say,
and they're dumb. Which is why this is going to be a stupid argument I'm making, because they're going to pay him whatever 100%. He wants. And they'll fuck their franchise because Micah Parsons he sells a whole bunch of tickets, and I like that boy. I like the way he runs. He's got a cool tattoo.
If Micah has a similar season to what we saw last year, stats, production, but falls off at the end of the year, like you say, would you make him the highest paid defensive player in the league?
You say that again.
If he had a similar season this year as he did the last year, would you be comfortable if the Cowboys made him the highest paid defensive player in the offseason by signing him to an extension?
This coming year?
Yes.
Exact same season?
Same season. What more do you need to see before you say, I want that. I want them to re-sign him, even if it means he's going to reset the market for defensive players or any player not a quarterback.
See, that's just it. It doesn't really matter what he does. The league is not set up for you to. It's almost like you get punished by having a guy that good that's not a quarterback.
No, well, I mean, that's
because you have to make the decision to ruin my salary cap or let the guy go.
That's the design of the CBA to influence parity, to promote parity, to try to create parity amongst the league.
I know how it is, which is why I may not re-sign. I don't care if he has 30 sacks.
It's why the Rams traded what's his name? The cornerback, Jalen Ramsey. That's why he's no longer a Ram, because they did They got him as a top 5 pick. They re-signed him to a big money deal, and now they're having to move on because they're in so much cap hell after 5 years.
And
of
they
him.
probably wouldn't have given him the deal if they had a do-over. Just let it go. It's like you get punished for having a ball player that's awesome, that's super awesome. I would rather have 8, 9, 10 guys on my defense that were pretty good.
No.
Versus having an elite guy and 7 spares. Because I'm not winning games that way.
That's the exact
That's
philosophy
one guy.
that
He can't
got
make
them.
that. Micah does not win games on his own.
But to say you would rather have 8 average dudes versus a top 3
on
defensive
defense,
player
in the NFL,
league,
where you got to score a bunch of points to
so
win
you
games
want a
anyway?
bunch of Dorrance Armstrongs? You want
I would.
6 Dorrance Armstrongs instead of 1 Micah? Man, I don't think that's how you win football. Because that's the same situation they found themselves in when they thought they could do that with the wide receiver position. Said, we don't need a 1A. We don't even need a 2A. We just need a bunch of guys that can catch 5 to 7 yard routes.
You're talking to
and we'll
a guy
go from there.
that if I ran the Cowboys, Zeke Elliott never would have been extended.
Zeke Elliott never should have been drafted.
I would have never drafted the son of a bitch where they drafted him. Damn sure. Let's say that I
should have been Jalen
Had
Ramsey.
I been hired as GM after they drafted Zeke, I would have let his fucking ass rot in Mexico.
Sure.
Not giving you a dime.
Especially when you're jumping the line of our franchise quarterback to get paid before him.
I would have never traded for Amari Cooper because I would never trade a number 1 draft pick for a wide receiver. Never. Never.
The only pushback on that
been on me.
is
they had to at the time.
Had to because of what they did.
They wouldn't have had to had Taylor been running the team.
Okay,
they wouldn't have had to.
Because you would have found a wide receiver in the 4th round that wouldn't have been Jalen Tolbert. That would have made it. Like they've tried to do both ways that you're describing.
They robbed Peter to pay Paul.
Yes,
on Amari
that's the
Cooper.
NFL. That's what 90% of the teams do, except for basically San Francisco or Kansas City.
I'm just saying these are survivable things. You can survive losing Micah Parsons. You can. If you're smart with that money you save all over your deed.
You can survive losing 6 Dorrance Armstrongs way easier than you can survive losing 1 Micah Parsons.
I would be ruthless with my money. You have to be. No, I wouldn't be a
You'd be
fucking
ruthless against mid-tier guys, but not upper echelon impact players
but
like
I'm not
Micah.
giving them everything. I don't have a financial wealth trove like the Qatarian king does. I have a salary cap.
You're not
here.
trying to be a member at Augusta as part of the PIF agreement?
No, that's right. I'm not King Salman. I don't have $40 billion to go buy golfers. I have a fucking salary cap, which is insane and stupid, and I hate them, especially in the NFL. But because you do, I would be ruthless with my money. I would be benevolent with my players. I wouldn't hate them all like fuck you. I'm not going to be like Bill Belichick, but I would run the money like Bill does. You have to. It sucks, and it's like.
I think
you can have a court. You have It's the thing. Once you have the quarterback in place, and that's the other thing. We don't know if Dallas has the quarterback in place because Dak Prescott doesn't. He fucking throws interceptions in the playoff game. But I don't want some. You almost have to be like, I don't know. You have it's a serfdom running an NFL team.
Sure.
You treat them like serfs.
Yeah.
They're not even people. It's awful, but it's true. They're all expendable. In Kansas City, they don't give a fuck who they bring in or bring out because they got that kid at quarterback.
You think New England
nice.
fans think every player is expendable after what they've gone through since Tommy left?
After 20 years and 7 titles? Yeah, this is just the credit cards have come due because Tom retired.
But he went on to win another Super Bowl at another team after. That's my whole point.
Okay, but still, you can't.
they're not all
You
serfs.
can't win 20 Super Bowls. They're not all serfs. The quarterbacks don't get treated like
Pat
serfs.
Mahomes is not a serf.
No.
Micah Parsons is not a serf.
Yeah, he is. He should be treated as such. He's just a really, really highly productive one who wears out on a small body in December.
How many exceptions are there to that logic in your mind? Pat Mahomes, one.
All the quarterbacks.
All the quarterbacks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all the decent ones.
Baker Mayfield, not a serf.
Okay, not Baker Mayfield. The good ones, the top 15.
Just trying to understand. Okay, top 15.
You know
That's
you
what,
understand.
15 is where, but I'm trying to see where you draw the line.
Top
because
15.
we joke or we say, Dak on any given day is basically 8 to 12.
Some days he's 2.
Some days he's 2. Some days he's 20. Some days he's 22.
Sure.
Some days he's 32.
No,
Some days
he's
he's
never 32.
I mean,
He's never terrible.
when your leg snaps, you're not really able to be a top 10 quarterback.
Well, yeah, that's another problem.
That's what I'm saying.
They gave him money
Some
after
days
his
he's-
fucking injury, which I don't know that I would have done that. It's you have to be ruthless. The average life expectancy of an NFL player is 3 years.
I would feel better about
Micah, at this pace, will not play 10 years if he doesn't figure out how to stay healthy all season long and not be worn out. He's worn out. At some point, he's going to get hurt and stay hurt.
I think at
I
some
worry
point,
about
I
that.
think at some point the coaching staff realizes he's not a early 20s kid anymore, and you've got to protect his body throughout the course of a season. And
Haven't
hopefully
so
that,
far.
that's what I was about to say. Hopefully that happens sooner rather than later, because then then we won't be seeing a decade plus long career because he'll be burned down.
And I want to mention, as I preface this entire segment, by once again saying this will all be moot because they are going to pay him because they're Dallas. I'm just telling you there are other franchises in the NFL that would at least think twice about it. But they're the Cowboys, and they're all about sex appeal, and Micah's real popular on Twitter.
He's also
sells
really
a whole
good
bunch
at
of jerseys.
football.
He's good at
he
football.
does. He is active on social. He sells a lot of jerseys, but he's also really fucking good at football and really
Not worth-
impactful to
Not
winning
if I'm
football
going. Not if I
games.
go 7-10 every year because I got a badass edge and nobody else to cover.
I don't think losing half a dozen Dorrance Armstrong type players on the defensive side of the ball
You keep
is
making
going
Dorrance.
to. Well, because I think I think Dorrance is a solid NFL fringe starting
understand. I
caliber
know,
guy,
but
like Terrence
I
Steele.
can
Like
get by with Dorrance. I'll take 8 Dorrances. I will.
over one Micah.
Chiefs did. They don't have Micah Parsons.
I mean, the Chiefs have absolutely had some quarterback eaters on the defensive line over the last
They've
over this run.
they've got a deep front four.
Yeah.
And so does Dallas, by the way, without Micah Parsons. The drop-off is not 5 games in the standings. It's not.
They're barely top 20 if you remove Micah from that defensive line rotation.
I don't agree. It also depends on
Who's
the
the
week.
anchor of?
It's also-
outside of Tank.
We're talking about a league here where the difference between the Chiefs and the 32nd best team is not that much.
No,
It's really not. It's a
it's
quarterback.
thin margin league.
It's a quarterback.
Exactly.
All right, we'll revisit later when the Cowboys re-sign the son of a bitch to a guaranteed
And making
deal.
the highest paid non-quarterback in
Absolutely.
league history.
Sure, because they're the Cowboys and it's fun. All right, show also brought to you by R&R Auto Glass. If you have suffered damage to the glass in your car, sedan, SUV, truck, whatever you're driving, whether you got a badass new Tesla or some unmarked pervert van, it don't matter. You bust the glass in it, they're going to fix it quick at R&R Auto Glass right by the airport at 281 in Tacoma. Go on there and mention me, too, and they'll give you a Taylor hookup. Get the Taylor Especial at R&R Auto Glass right there by the airport at 281 in Tacoma. Independently owned, Boodle San Antonio people, longtime Thunderdomers, longtime members of our show. If you're going, let's say, southbound on 281, you exit Tacoma, take a right. They're just down there about a quarter mile on the left-hand side. It is R&R Auto Glass. All right. I have an announcement before we close today. So, I don't have a full-time job anymore. This counts, I guess.
Dude,
There's not a lot of benefits that come with this particular gig.
Speaking of not having a full-time gig,
Yeah.
I watched an
I don't
11-hour
wanna hear what you're about to
YouTube
say.
video yesterday.
Did you do? I'm not sure I wanna hear
11-hour YouTube video I watched in its entirety
All in one day.
yesterday. I finished it about 1:30 in the morning.
Well, that's on you.
It felt like a good use of my time. In the moment, I'm second guessing that this
Dare I
morning.
even ask what the subject was?
You don't want to know. It's
I'd
video
probably do.
game related. It's the entire storyline of all Mortal Kombat games.
I don't know. I don't think I've spent 11 hours doing anything in my life. I don't think so.
Yeah, it was
Not one thing.
I didn't expect to make
In a
it
day.
through. I didn't expect to be there at the end, but alas, fell asleep to it last night.
Well, if you can pry yourself away from your YouTube shows, on August the 5th, I'm going to be at the Ringer Pub. Want to come drink beer with me? You don't have
Nice.
to. 4 to 6 in the afternoon. That's a Saturday, by the way. I'm going to participate. Let me pull the information out here so I don't screw it up. This is Saturday, August 5th. I'm going to be at the Ringer Pub. So I want everybody to look up something called the Guardian Community. That is a nationwide organization that raises money to help people that are veterans and or first responders. And my boys over at the Ringer they have a good relationship with Guardian Community. And it's not just like vets who get hurt on the job or first responders who get hurt on the job. For instance, I looked at their website yesterday, and they're raising funds for a guy who's a veteran who got in a car wreck up in Detroit. And he's down on his luck, needs a few extra bucks to help pay for that. So it's not while you're enlisted or while you're a cop or firefighter or whatever. It's the rest of your life. They want to help people that deserve it, and that's what Guardian Community does. And we're having a fundraiser in the form of a raffle. It's only $10 for a ticket.
What do we get for $10?
You get one raffle ticket that will benefit Guardian Community fundraiser.
I had no idea the tickets were literally going to be
$10. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty good.
It's $10 for a ticket, or you can spend $25. Don't be a cheap ass. Just you can get 3. And we have a whole bunch of stuff that we're going to continue to work on here. So, matter of fact, if anybody wants to pitch in to help look this organization up and vet them for yourself. Anybody wants to help pitch in to add stuff to the raffle we're going to have, reach out to me, and I'll reach out to the guys at the Ringer. Here's what we have so far. And we just decided to do this last night, and already we have shout out to the Hangar. They've donated a $100 gift card.
Oh, nice.
Shout out to the Ringer's going to run $100 too. We got an anonymous $200 Visa gift card. We have $100 on Old Main gift card. Gift cards are always the easiest thing to give. There's a gift card, $100 from JT Sports Bar. We've been there too. And Ricky's Tattoos.
Hell yeah.
Has donated $150 in the form of a gift card. And that's just since last night.
You get a good piece for $150.
Sure, we get $5-6 grand raised on that day. I'll be happy as hell. This is going to be at the Ringer Pub on Thousand Oaks Drive in Jones-Maltsberger from 4 to 6. Now they're going to start at 2. My obligations are to get there at 4. And I like those guys. I might get there early. We'll see. The raffle will go on from 4 to 6. We'll pull names throughout those 2 hours. And DJ LG's volunteered to come out and set up a mic and speaker and all that kind of stuff. Sure. I just volunteered you.
Yeah, I was about to say, it doesn't sound like LG.
Like I pressure people.
Yes.
Lawrence has got a nice speaker with a microphone set up. He'd probably come out there and help me out. Yeah, thank you, Lawrence. Thank you for stepping in and volunteering. So that's going to be cool. So now we'll talk more about this as we go. All right, so I'm super stoked, man. We're not going to get rich doing this show probably, but I cannot thank the people that have jumped on board. And this is only the 4th week we've done this show with our support so far. And so the Ringer has become one of our supporters. We're going to do 4 Cowboys postgame shows out there this year. Come hear me bitch about Micah Parsons having 10 sacks, and that's just one great game closer to a stupid contract that they don't need to be giving him. We'll do Cowboy Overreact all year this season, but 4 dates, and I'll give you later the dates. We're going to do our Overreact show from the Ringer. And I'll tell you what those dates are, but because those guys have decided to partner up with us, you bet your ass I want to give them something back too. And I'm going to donate my time on that day and go out there from 4 to 6 on the 5th and help man their raffles. So I'm inviting all Thunderdumbers to come out that day, have a beer with us, and hang out and shoot the breeze and help Guardian Community. All right? Very good. Sweet. And I'm super stoked to be involved in youth sports now. So happy to have Alamo City Soccer Club on. If you want any information about any of our partners that we deal with, whether it's R&R, the soccer club, any of them, whatever, DM me, email me, and I'll get you in contact with people. San Antonio Soccer Club. You can call it SA for short.
Yeah, but you keep saying Alamo. I think Alamo City Soccer Club is a completely different.
My bad. San Antonio City Soccer Club. Yeah, my bad. You know what? I also had a meeting last night with the Alamo City All-Stars.
There you go.
The basketball team.
It's all running. Yeah.
I've got to get a chart.
Yeah, you definitely. We just need to put a chart on a wall.
This is hard. It's funny you mentioned that because I was just thinking I need to do that. I'm bullshitting you. This is a good problem to have, and I'm not that smart, and now that I don't have the corporate overlords to take care of these kinds of things, a lot's on me as far as keeping up with the organization of what we do. So yes, we have lots of partners. We have Alamo City All-Stars. We have SA City Soccer Club, The Ringer, McFinnigan's, R&R Auto Glass, Hank the Realtor.
Hank.
We've got Hardwick Mortgage. I'm super stoked about that, but I got to get better at organizing all this stuff, and I will, and I appreciate it.
I've got a lot better at this YouTubing.
There's the ender. We're done. God almighty. All right. Thank you, man, to Puma and LG and all of our sponsors and our supporters, and especially you boys that watch this thing every day. There can't be that without y'all. Appreciate the tips and the subscriptions and the membership. Get you a membership. You know what? We'll come up with some special stuff to give away at all of our appearances for members.
You keep threatening.
It's going to happen. You watch. You watch. All right. Thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you boys for People I Want to Punch Wednesday, mañana. Later.
Come back, you puppy!
This program was made possible by contributions from viewers and listeners like you. Thank you.
This is a Bronx-bound 6 local train. The next stop is Spring.